As you wish. Yes.
Yes?
Ready, Watcher. I'm ready.
Yes.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara ex Incios. But not you. It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now. We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court. Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution. You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't have...
Builder's wisdom to you.
Many blessings, traveler.
Estramore?
A blade in the dark. Tread carefully, Estramore. Of course.
To me, my thoughts shall... Yes.
About blazing time!
I'm ready.
What is it?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
What? Yes. Well? Well? Yes.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not...
Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds? There! By his own admission, she...
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial. The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help, so that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the...
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheila. He has always been a poison.
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to...
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up in vines like an angry little puppet?
But that's not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that man. I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. I am sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek, nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away? However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward.
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death. The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you, but were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then. and merely you might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he...
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms, the soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos's path many times, in many lifetimes.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you...
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, brayeth Yaman.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach the court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage. No more than a ruin now. It is older than we, a place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent, the fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged. Behind us is cRPG, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer.
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake the feeling is shared.
None.
cRPG is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience. What do you wish to know?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case,
or vengeance.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey, we have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what...
We will tell you what... Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
Why let him off so easily? You would need a grove of elms like these to create enough parchment to write down his crimes against the world. There must be some greater punishment you can exact.
Surely, sister, he must do what is right for him. All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course, and be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned. May you find an answer to your...
Well? Well?
Of course.
I'll take a look. I'm ready.
Well?
As you wish. Magnificent.
seek! Avaru beyond seek!
Yes.
Lava beyond seek!
I got the priest.
Lava beyond seek! Lava beyond seek!
course.
The lioness reigns still, and soon her cubs will rise. Why did you strike the bear down? Strength begets strength. The mighty seize an advantage in their jaws and do not let go. They shake and wring it, puncture its arteries with sharpened fangs. Blood whets their appetite. You sought and won the favor of Galawain. What new prey do you now pursue? To track a quarry, you must understand its movements. And Theos follows the path of a...
Let him know his foe.
Theos has trapped thousands of souls in sun and shadow like rabbits in a snare. Now, he goes there to retrieve the kill for his master Woodica. She will feast on them, suck their marrow, grow strong on their essence. Because he is her hound, he has always done her bidding.
Woodica stands for an old order. So does Theos.
They both fear change, and the Deerwood has changed much recently. People find answers not in the gods, but in animancy, the product of their own labors.
And why not? When they have learned that even a god can be killed.
Track Theos. Follow the trail he has left for you, and
You must stop him before he...
And if you do, you will have a different decision to make.
souls were ripped from the world. ripe and full and pulsing with essence. Scatter them like bones to a pack of dogs. Their essence will strengthen the souls of the deerwood. Let the remains of the dead feed the survivors. To breed strength, power is born from the mixing of essence.
What Theos did cannot be undone. Thousands of lives have changed, and thousands more have ended because of his actions. But transformation
And improvement is the goal of all Kith. Long lives, prosperous futures, stronger minds and bodies. Strengthening those who remain will help repair the damage that Theos has done to the Deerwood.
A victory that leaves her ruler of all. No room for conflict, no struggle, not even...
Be careful what you wish for, mortal. Woodica's ways are regressive. Her laws never change, her authority never ebbs, and she never forgets us.
Woodica would crush the Deerwood simply out of vengeance for the rebellion against Adir, her favorite. She would stamp out Animancers, godslayers from the Saints.
Because your soul will be at her mercy, and already you know.
Woodica will not keep the pact. She will interfere with mortals the very way we have always avoided. Your development will no longer be in your own hands.
Stagnation. You will be...
And when you descend the pit to Sun in Shadow, you can count on our assistance to see you safely through. As I hope we can count on yours when you reach the bottom. There are many souls upon the Burial Isle that are sworn to serve us.
Hunt him, mortal. And when you stop him, let the souls he has captured feed the deer.
Strengthen the souls of those who remain. Prepare them to face the challenges that will follow. Pledge that you will do this, and...
Betray us, and my beasts shall track you down. Our allegiance is not to be accepted and cast aside. The bargain is struck, Watcher. Keep your part.
Stop right there! You're in the wrong city, Inquisitor. Did you think you wouldn't be recognized here in your old home? I've seen your trials with my own eyes.
Suros, what are you doing?
An assassin sent by the Inquisition, my lady, daring to approach our...
Surely this is some trick of my mind. I did not expect to see you again. I would like for you to stay here, in our camp.
My lady Ivara, I beg of you. This is an Inquisitor. This is a desperate attempt on your life. The only way it can succeed is if you allow it to.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one man's ability to reason, once he knows the truth...
My lady, he admits being a spy!
That should make him less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity. We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. Come.
If those Delamgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for. Yes, focus on the goal. A sensible perspective, particularly. And while I hate to turn the subject back to myself, this all has me thinking about Isilmir. How I'm stuck with her now. I suppose not, but hope it... I've been thinking about it a lot lately. About her recklessness, her unpredictability, and about how my own irresolution is to blame. That's a charming way to think of things. And not enough. That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real. Yes, I suppose so. Still, I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that were somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next. Sound advice, indeed.
What is it, Watcher? It stinks of her. It is justice, but if her greater purpose was to think Margaret would fall prey to such deceit. And Aethys, Widewind had always claimed to be invading Deerwood to free it. Surely Aethys earned his death at Godhammer Citadel, but not for those reasons, not to keep him silent. If such a thing has brought about this chaos, must we always be tools of gods? If Woodica and Margaret, if they are the cause of this, the Hollowborn, if the Purges were never necessary, if Aethys was fighting back, so many lies. And Woodica, perhaps she is the next god to fall beneath the Godhammer. No, I am glad to have walked this far with you, seen this truth. Perhaps it was what I was meant to see. With the Watchers, all these dances of words and intrigues, machines of men, twisted, ripping the souls of children, and by the gods, the goddess of justice. If I could end her like a Woodica, she must answer to her own justice. Anyone with a shred of spirit seeks both justice and punishment. It burns in the heart of anyone who lives. All seek it. If the world does not balance, we all drown in the oceans. And the gods would not care. Margaret, she must be redeemed. And punishing Woodica, that will serve. Is this some final joke at my expense? To test my faith further? And why would you think that, Watcher? If all you have are questions, then I have enough of those. She is a bitch of a goddess, to be sure. But even a whore only goes so far in crossing those she serves. You answer a question with a question. Then why did I feel her disappointment at Halgot? Why were we shamed? Kill me. She is a goddess. I still drink from her burning breasts, Watcher. If she wished me dead, she could trace me to my source and kill me. There's no proof, Watcher. I was a fool to think you could help me see any farther than I could. They died in the blast, yes. The other 11. I was the only one to walk away. I thought we had wronged our goddess. That this was my trial, and if I could prove myself worthy... To think I served her, I followed her. Now I shall serve no one. Woodica's lies must be answered. And now it seems I must take fire in war from a goddess's false claim as well. I still take from her strength as I did, for as long as it lasts. For I shall not cast her aside yet, until I have drained her dry and had my fill. Just as for I have learned one of the lessons of the faithful. The faithful may wound a goddess greater than any enemy. A purification. Well?
Alof. Never before have I met an Adiran man so hesitant to speak his mind.
consider my words carefully.
You should really hear yourself talk, amigo. Estremor.
How may I help?
Well? Yes?